a minute. Wait a minute. What is that? What is that?
What is what? What?
The Cubs basketball.
Oh, that's the wide shot.
What is that?
Just adding more swag. Just more swag.
Jesus Christ. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. What the heck is going on here? I leave for 5 days. His Cubs basketball's on the desk. I lose Jason Benetti to the Detroit Tigers. I'm having a tough time here, Joe. But the Chicago Bears did get a win. So we got to talk about that versus the Carolina Panthers. Also looking at what the defense did in that game. Are they turning the corner? And, listen, there's still a ton of questions on this coaching staff. And a certain someone coach may or may not be getting suspended. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that y'all get in tune with us, man. Your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. And the super producer is in the building. Super producer Joel Holt.
Good to have you back, man.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be back, man. How was I thought the studio burned down. I thought that I was concerned.
No,
how were things while I was away?
We had a good time, man. It actually wasn't that bad. And it was a good time to get.
The Bears didn't win, so there's that.
Well, yeah, it was the Saints when they played, so it was just you took the sunshine away, Pat.
Did I?
Yeah, that's right.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but I am the sunshine in your life. Tell your wife I say hello. Hey, man, let's start it out here, man. Listen, this is a Bears. That's tough. This is a Bears victory Friday of sorts, right? It's kind of weird. But the Chicago Bears win the toilet bowl. What a game we saw last night. We were live calling that. Me and Kid were riveted by how terrible it was. It was god-awful watching both of those teams go up and down the field. And I'll tell you what's even worse, the All-22. Let's jump into the recap, though, because I think you really got to see the numbers to show just what kind of game we watched last night. The Bears do come away with the win. That puts us at 3-7, a much-needed win, a double win, if you will, because the Panthers are now 1-8.
Let's cue this thing up.
Let's kick off the recap here.
There we go, recap. So, all right.
Hey.
So here you have it, week 10, right? They won 16-13, 213 total yards to their 295, but we had 162 passing yards and 133 rushing yards. Maybe I flipped that wrong. Anyways, time of possession. We had more than time of possession. Let's bring that back. Go ahead, Pat.
Run that back. 162 passing yards, 133 rush yards there.
I think I transposed something. That's okay.
Yeah, I think that got messed up a little bit there.
That's all right.
The penalties are still there, but time of possession, Bears dominate.
One scoring touchdown.
Elite game. An elite game. By the way, that's one offensive scoring touchdown. Special teams did get a touchdown for the Panthers as well. Defense, I will say this. The defense, to me, did a lot there. I thought that they really showed out. I thought that the pressure was really good, and it was good to see them get 3 sacks.
3 sacks. I was impressed with that. I guess it was
Panthers also played football. That's kind of
it's still a 1-8 team. They're supposed to dominate this squad, but we had a couple standouts, right? Tyson Bagent.
Standout?
I'm just saying we had a few.
Okay,
especially on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Dante Foreman, 21 carries.
I like what Deontay did. Good revenge game for him. Got a rushing touchdown.
I like him. He passed the eye test. DJ Moore. Oh, God dang it. 5 receptions, 58 touchdowns. That's meant to be 0 touchdowns. I was tripping. 5 receptions, 45 yards, 0 touchdowns for Cole Kmet. And I think on the defensive side, TJ Edwards, 12 tackling machine.
Yeah. Love what TJ Edwards is doing. Love how he's been playing. Jaquan Brisker absolutely lighting people up. I love the tackle for loss. I don't love the 45-yard pass he gave up right before that. And it was good to see Yannick get back in on the sack action. Pause. Montez Sweat is an absolute beast of a player.
I was trying to confirm his pressures because they said I thought he had 7 or 8 pressures.
He had 8 pressures on the day.
That's what it was.
8 pressures on the day. I thought he did an excellent job yesterday coming out. And I mean, like, he is as what we wanted is advertised to me. And I know a lot of people are complaining about the price that he cost. I know a lot of people complained about, the fact that we gave up the 2nd-round pick, but you give up the pick for the right to get a player that is going to come in and make an impact. And, I mean, he's been here 8 days. And we're talking about him being our leader in quarterback pressures on the day. I can't be mad at that. Hey, man, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. I mean, it was ugly, dog. It was not a pretty game. And I think here's the thing. I love the fact that the Chicago Bears come away from this thing with a win, right? Like 16-13, you got to win however you can. It is what it is, no matter what. At the end of the day, you are now 3-7. And maybe you can set yourself up here if Justin comes back and he's feeling good and you can, run the right system and things like that going up against the Lions. But this game left me with the same feeling as many of the games that we've lost. Many of the games that we've lost. Why are we not running a game plan that fits what our team's strengths are? Offensively, there is one statement from this game that sums up what all the fans saw. Here's the thing. It's like you just said, right? 3-7 team now versus a 1-8 team. And it felt like we got away with this by the skin of our teeth. Like, legitimately, if Brian Burns plays, we might lose this game. They didn't have their best pass rusher.
And they missed a field goal. They missed the field goal.
They missed the final field goal. They would have tied it. They could. Now, granted, they ran Eddie Pinheiro out there for a 60-yard field goal. I looked at that, and I was like, we're probably good. We probably have nothing to worry about. I've seen this guy miss from 42 before. But it's just it's the fact that we got away with this by the skin of our teeth. And I left that game with the same questions as many of the games that we've lost this season. And you know what? The fact that some of the players left this game, or heck, started this game with questions. Courtney Cronin was talking with DJ Moore, and I think this sums it all up perfectly. And he said on that first pass, Tyson Bagent throws a DJ Moore right side screen pass. He runs it up, or I believe it was a screen pass. He runs it up the right sideline. 16-yard game. Said he had no idea the pass was coming his way.
Right.
Best wide receiver on the team has no idea they're throwing the football to him on the first play of the game.
Yeah.
That sums up so much to me what this Chicago Bears offensive game plan is. Like, it does to me. Like, and Tyson Bagent, to his credit, he said he's the best player on the field. We have to get him the ball. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But what'd you see in the game there, Joe? What was your takeaway from the game to start?
I think I had the same sentiments. Like, they looked pedestrian. I thought it was odd. Like, it felt like Bagent regressed. And he didn't seem poised. They didn't look sharp at all. And it's like this team was a depleted Panthers defense, and we could barely score. We got a rushing touchdown. Like, you would have. There was sometimes you wonder, like, is this the coaching again?
Yeah.
So, like, you can't say, well, Bagent looks just as bad if you're hanging, beating up Justin Fields. It's like, I think that I got to seriously question the coordinator, like Getsy. Like, I got to question this whole thing. Like, I've always maintained throughout this whole season it's 50-50. So I think he's definitely shaky. And then the offensive game plan just wasn't there. The defense was great, minus them giving up that special team. I mean, defense didn't do that, but the special teams giving up that touchdown, they really only had scored 3 points.
No, so, I think that's, if there's any positive to take away from this, and I get it, it's tough to take a positive away from a game where you beat a dog water team. But if there's any positive that you take away from this game, it's the fact that your defense, and I think really, if you look at the defense since the first week of the season, has been a pretty now, granted, bend but don't break, and they break a little too often sometimes, but it's been a pretty steady defense, and it's continued to get better as the season's going on. They've been top 5 in the run game the entire season, pretty much. The pass game, listen, you can get the ball over their heads. That is one thing that is definitely going to happen.
What up, Coach T? I see you, buddy.
And you can attack the middle of the field as well. Like that is the two things that I think have really stood out to me about this Bears team in the passing game. But outside of that, like I look at I look at what the Bears defense is becoming and the position they put themselves in, and I'm not upset at the defense that we have right now. I'm upset at the fact that we invested so much in the offense in the offseason, and I'm still sitting here looking at Luke Getsy's system week in and week out going, what the heck are you running? By the way, I feel bad for Bryce Young after watching the All-22 last night. Not only does Bryce Young have Adam Thielen as his number 1 receiver, which basically feels like T-Mac in a Spurs jersey. Now, you remember that like random year where it was like, oh, what's going on there? Like, what the heck is happening here?
Yeah.
It basically feels like that. As his number 1 wide receiver, and then like nothing, and Chuba Hubbard running the football. Yeah, I mean, I think who's the former Broncos wide receiver who's also on that team, right? Like they well overpaid him.
I can't remember. Cortland? Is it Cortland?
No. You taking it back to
Cortland Sutton?
Cortland Sutton, no. I can't think of his name, but it's just a situation to me where when I look at his Bears team now, or when I look at his Panthers team, I get it. Bryce might not be the guy, and he's very small, and I'd have never drafted him.
Yeah.
But my God, is he in a horrible situation? Because Frank Wright and that Panthers team might be worse at calling plays than the Bears are.
Well, no, you can't discredit Frank Wright. I mean, he's a good coach. You know, he's done some good things.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a good coach. I just think that, it still comes down to talent. He has no talent. They're worse than us. They're 1-8. Like, you don't have the players. I think the broadcast, they were giving the Bears a little bit of credit. Like this team is better than the record.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's more about they've fumbled. They've just the mismanagement of coaching has been so bad. And I'm just ready for this season to be over with. Like, I'm so ready to just get this done and see what we're going to do as we continue to build this team, because there are some bright spots. I agree that the defense, I was saying, like, I'm tired of like this Tampa 2, it's so specialized. You got to get this 3 technique, but you are seeing some improvement.
You're seeing it start to work.
With Montez Sweat being there, just his presence. We hadn't heard from Yannick all pretty much since week 1 or 2?
Yeah.
And now he's there at least, and he had a full week of practice, and he's causing some havoc. He had 3 weeks. He had 3 days before he joined.
He had 3 days.
Now he's actually been in
that practice is kind of just a walkthrough for the most part, though. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's encouraging. We have some pieces, but we need more. I think so. When you were out, I had I created like a roster of what I thought ranking some of our players. And I felt like we probably only have 4 or 5 Pro Bowl caliber players, and we have a lot of good, average, and a couple bad. And it's like we need a lot more Pro Bowl caliber play, at least good or great good players to Pro Bowl players.
I say this though, and looking at the defensive side of the football, this is why. It's a tough question to ask, right? But can Flus save his job because of how the defense is shaping up?
I think he did.
Like how many offensive coordinators do you give a head coach so that he can get it right? Like, would you be surprised if Ryan Poles came down and was like, listen, we like what we're building here on the defensive side of the ball. Now, granted, I get it. Versus the Panthers. Panthers are dog water. I maintain that, right? I understand where we're at on that. Like the video, subscribe to the page, all of that. But if in 4 weeks of this season, the offense doesn't give the football back repeatedly, and in 3 of them, I believe they go for touchdowns. Pick 6, 2 pick 6s, I want to say, and a strip fumble that goes for a touchdown as well, right? Like if you're not having those conversations, you're talking about defenses that gave up 21 to 24 points in a game. If you can't win that game in the modern NFL, that's on your offense's fault. That's on the offense to get it right. So with this defense improving the way it has since week 3, I think that, and I don't know if I like it, but I think that we might have to start having the conversation on, listen, Flus might be doing enough to save his job. Now he's got to get more wins out of it. You can't finish the season with 3 wins and feel that way.
I think they're all going to be here. I think Getsy too. I think their whole point is like, this is the system that can be run.
Chicago Bulls this thing?
Huh? Yeah,
the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, they're gonna say this system is the system, and we need the guys to make these guys were open, and the guy didn't see it. I think when I'm just disappointed too, like, we're gonna have these guys for a while, but the defense, we knew that this is a rebuild. This is year 2 of it, and the fact that I just hate his game. Like, it's like he's just too hokey for me. Like, he doesn't.
Who gets it?
No, Eberflus. Like,
Flus?
I call him Matt the mechanic. Like, he doesn't come across like a coach to me. He's just like, yeah, we got some stuff up our sleeve. Yeah, what you got up your sleeve? Like, what is that? And then you did nothing. He did nothing in the second half. Like, ooh, you threw a 45. Didn't they throw a pass that didn't go all the way? Like, they didn't do anything. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's just irritating to watch this coaching staff.
It's just it's the same storyline in a win as it is in a loss.
Because they barely won.
It's the same, and I think that's the part that is the most infuriating when you sit here and talk about this coaching staff. I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm not happy that the Bears won. I am happy that we got to win. It makes things easier to talk about, especially when you go on the radio from 12 to 2 in the morning on ESPN 1000. Tune in with the post-game show, Pat the Designer, Jeff Meller, Jason McKee. It was a great time. I'm not telling you that I'm not happy about the win, but I feel like this win didn't change my feeling on anything with this team moving forward.
I think it just means that, hey, okay, this is good. All right, you won, helping Carolina get the number 1 pick. Now we can go ahead and just continue losing the rest of the season so that we can get this 2nd or 3rd pick. Lord Crimson, what are you saying?
I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was, dog.
I'm like, what?
I don't know what that was, bro.
Please expound on your
please don't, actually. How about you keep that to yourself, brother? You got to watch the chat.
Anyways,
you got to watch that chat, big.
I think that, we're kind of we're just getting through this season. Let's just hopefully, because we got Detroit next.
You got Detroit next.
And Fields should be back.
Fields should be back. So now here's the tough part. Here's the part that, right, like, now as you're moving forward here, you have to ask the tough questions on what are you going to evaluate Justin Fields with versus these next 4 teams. Because this is the part of the season where we were like, this is where you're going to get your evaluation. And guess what franchise quarterbacks do? Franchise quarterbacks come back from injury and they compete in games. You might not always go out there and win it, right? Like, I don't know if I'm expecting Justin Fields to go into Detroit. I think that next game is in Detroit. To go into Detroit and win the game versus a hostile environment. I'm not expecting it because I don't expect Luke Getsy to call a good enough game plan.
I saw Ron Winiarski. Winiarski. I'm sorry if I killed that. His comment about, would it be a blowout if Fields was starting? Because I was thinking that, like, if Fields was there, we probably would have had at least, I think his skill set alone would have at least gave us a better offensive output. Bagent is limited. And
he's limited, and they knew to play under.
Yeah, so they I guess they scaled him back because they were worried about. I guess what it was is that they stopped him from all his turnovers, right? He had no turnovers, but he had no touchdowns.
Turnovers. He had no touchdowns.
He averaged at least a 1 or 2 a game that he started. So they probably said, look, we can't have you. We had to dial it back for him. That's probably what ended up happening, which is why we got the game that we got.
Probably, but I mean, even with that, right? Like. Here's the problem. We've seen that with Justin. I've seen that where we're in the first half of the game. And I think that's the thing about this game that is the most irritating of all. Starting the game out on the offensive side of the ball. And like we talked about the defense figuring it out. The defense held them to basically
3 points.
No, 6 points. Defense held them to 6 points, right? It was 13.
Oh, 13
16
to 16 to
Right.
13. Yeah.
Math. But the defense ends up
My
holding
math
them to
wasn't
6 points.
mathing.
That math wasn't math. The defense ends up holding them to 6 points.
Right.
Okay. Now, on the offensive side of the football, are you going to go out there and say, we're going to show our dominance versus this team if Justin is in there? Like, that's the question I have. Because to me, this is a team whose mindset is do enough to get the job done, not go above and beyond.
No, I think what it is that it's exactly what we said. They was like, let's give this Bagent kid a shot. And they let this stuff perpetuate about him, seeing what he can do. They realize he's not ready.
Yeah.
So instead of us trying to open up this playbook with him, because he played, this is his 4th game.
This is 4, yep.
Yeah. He had a bunch of turnovers. He won the Raiders game, and then they were bad. No, he stepped in for the Vikings game.
Right.
He won the Raiders, lost. Who did we just lose against? The Saints, right?
No, he's played 4. Yeah, technically he's played 5.
5.
He's played 4.5.
Who are we missing? Anyways, the point is
Saints, Chargers, Raiders.
Chargers. Okay, so he's had
but
he's had multiple turnovers, and it could go bad real quick. So they were playing conservative all the way, and they're like, we should be able to eke this out if we do a running game and have Dante. Dante looks good. I hate the way they use Roshan because I like Roshan, but I think they have him in there for blocking purposes, and he just doesn't pop.
I mean, that's all he does, though, is block.
That's what I'm saying. Like
when he
doesn't
blocks, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but the problem is like we're not. We were all hoping to see him kind of ascend to maybe being that bell cow stud running back.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
Dante, he looks good.
But the thing is, right, a Deontay Foreman, like, if he wants to come back next season on another $2 million contract, come on back.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't have no issues with that.
Is that my man Diaz? Diaz Millennia? What's going on, baby? She says, absolutely no explosive plays from the offense. They stretched the field. DJ Moore had a bone to pick. And what did he say? And they didn't get him out in space.
Yeah.
Well, you took it out. Whatever. I can't.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, whatever. I can read fast. Just more screens and more short plays. Yeah, but they had to protect Bagent. They didn't want to lose this game. They didn't want to.
Well, and that's the thing. They didn't want it to be, oh, Tyson, you're the reason we lost. Right? Because then that just kills the kid's confidence. And that I can see that things are slowly moving in the right direction, but the part that's continuously irritating is no matter what answers that you think you have to the test, the Bears aren't going to use them. That's the part. And I talked about this a little bit after Matt Eberflus came out and basically said Justin Fields was out doubtful and would prepare himself before the game, right? All three at once.
No, he said, well, he's getting better, but is he out? Well, he's doubtful. But is he out? Well, we're going to give him another day. But he's –
do yourselves a favor. I talked with Nicholas Moreno from CSGO yesterday. Do you guys selves a favor. When I go look at – he wrote out – I got to see if I can find this. He wrote out Matt Eberflus's answer to a question.
Oh, so I'm confused. Is he out or is he doubtful? Why don't you just make him out? Well, he's doubtful. Was he playing? No. But so is he out?
Bro, he's doubtful. But they activated Nathan Peterman as the backup. So clearly he's not playing, but like, bro, I got to see if I can find this tweet from Nicholas Moreno, bro.
Yeah.
It was so, and I saw him yesterday and I was like, I know exactly what you did. And it was so funny to me because the answer didn't mean anything. The answer literally was words that by the English language, technically, you can put them together. And it would sound like it might form a sentence, but it absolutely meant nothing. I don't know how far back this is, but I was dying to laugh. I might have quote tweeted. Let me see. But either way, right? Like, it's everything about these guys is just stumbling in the dark, trying to find the light switch.
It's cringy. It's like, like what they talk about when you can win the press conference, right? And present well. If this is how he is in front of everyone, it's like, how does he really command the locker room? This whole hits principle.
Yeah.
Does he have command of the team? You know, like he's cringy to me. And it's like I said, Matt the mechanic. He looks more like a mechanic that can fix your cars and actually coach a team.
You know what he reminds me of? This is funny because we were just laughing very hardly about Colin Cowherd and how much of he reminds me of Colin Cowherd.
Who?
A little bit. Matt Eberflus a little bit. Like stuff comes out of his mouth, and then you just go, "What does that mean? Like, how do you say that? Like, what are you looking at that you see that?" So I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, I can't find this tweet. I like
Cowherd though. I like.
Y'all know.
If
y'all
have
know
it, if y'all got it in the chat, put it in the chat. We could throw it up if y'all have it. Y'all can find it.
Yeah, because I can't find this tweet from Moreno. I wish I could because it's so expertly explains who Matt Eberflus is and how he responds to people's questions. I don't know.
The Shy was asking a couple of folks like, who do you want for OC next year? And to me, I don't think it's. I want a person again that owns an offense versus he's using someone else's offense trying to, run it. I want someone that has a tailor-made offense. So if they keep Justin Fields, I don't think Getsy's going anywhere. But if they did and they kept Fields, for example, I would like Greg Roman because I've seen that he has tremendous success with the skill set that Fields has. And I think Fields has a ceiling that allows him to be a better processor of being able to read the field. I think he can do it. It's just going to take a little longer. But when you got that big contract over your head of like, they don't want to pay that. If he's gone, I don't care who we get in the sense of just as long as the quarterback can fit the skill set that we end up getting.
Well, I think who would I want at offensive coordinator is
Daniel Green. You're not the only one that said the same thing.
It's based on who's still the head coach here. Right. Like it all depends on who's the head coach here. Like if Matt Eberflus is still the head coach here, you're talking about going to get somebody who's a younger offensive coordinator and probably going to be the next guy up that's going to design a completely different system. And then you're still waiting on Justin Fields to go out there and now adapt to the system or whoever the new quarterback is, right? Like that really is the case here if you go out and get a new offensive coordinator. Now, if the Bears go out there and they get a right, like they hold on or they move on from Matt Eberflus, I would rather have somebody who's an offensive coordinator that looks at Justin Fields and says, you know what? You are what you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not looking to come in and completely change that about you. So we're going to find somebody that tailors their scheme to what you do best. Because here's the thing. We've gotten to a point where Tyson Bagent has started to look like he doesn't fit the scheme anymore. And he was supposed to be the perfect quarterback for this scheme.
No, he gets the ball out fast, Pat.
I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, he's literally the quarterback that they wanted to have trying to run this thing.
Yeah. And
as he's running it, as he's trying to figure it out, all of a sudden, like, as the weeks go on, he's getting worse. Now, that doesn't compute with me.
But you know what's interesting? Is it the same comments that Fields made? Is he being coached out of what he would normally do, trying to fit this system? It's just disappointing that, you got to be, again, it's a broken record.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be able to tailor your offense. You got to be creative or something. But like, I'm just disappointed that we have DJ Moore and they act like they don't know how to get this dude the ball. He mainly gets screens and stuff like that. Like, okay, that's great. But, the game where he had 200 some yards plus yards to what, 230?
Yeah.
We can't go back to any of that stuff. Can we look up any tape from the Packers or
with
Devontae Adams?
The difference.
But what I'm saying is like, why can't we look at how they used him in that scheme? We have some talent and that line is getting better. They finally figured out, I think, the right combination on the right side, and we need a center. Cody Whitehair, he got a penalty called on him.
Got a penalty on a field goal.
On a field goal.
I'm so tired of that dude. That was impressive. I've never seen it. I've never seen somebody get a penalty called on him on a field goal who's like actually on the offensive line.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's the fact that we can sit here and talk like this after a win should tell you everything that we see about our team.
So why don't we look at this draft watch real quick? So based on the standings from what was it? Tankathon. I looked at
the toilet bowl
from Tankathon.
Oh, Tankathon, yeah.
Saying that the
Great
Panthers now technically are in first, which is great news. Now we just need Arizona just win 1 or 2. You know, the Giants at 3, we're the Patriots 4, and we're 5. So Colin Cowherd, he's hilarious. Talking about we're out of the sweepstakes.
Yeah, the Bears are out of the Caleb Williams, Drake May sweepstakes.
It's a 1 game difference for the most part. What an idiot.
No, but he basically was saying that he didn't realize, like the chart was there. He didn't see the part where it said the Bears own Carolina's first overall pick.
Oh, okay.
So, he's Colin. And yesterday was a double win.
Yeah.
It was a double win yesterday. I was glad to see the Bears get the dub. I was glad to see that, the fact that we got the win put us back in position to hold on to this draft positioning. I mean, 1-8 for that team now. And you look at Carolina's schedule, I don't know where they get their next win. Maybe the Buccaneers. They got 2 games against the Buccaneers. Maybe you sneak one of them in against the Buccaneers just to play spoiler for the Bears. But
Kyler Murray comes back. We need him to win 1 or 2. He should be able to do that.
Now, here's the tough question that I asked, right? If the Bears started now, it's pie in the sky. It's probably not going to happen. Let's not even get our hopes up. Don't hurt yourself, Bears fans. Let your hopes happen as the Bears start to give us hope. Let's not create our own hopes. Exactly. If the Bears are over their next 4, the Bears have the Lions, they have the Vikings, the Lions, bye week, and then Cleveland, or somewhere in there. Somewhere bye week is in the middle somewhere in there.
I can pull the schedule.
If they find a way to go like, let's say 3-1, because they've been 500 over their last 3, or even let's say right 2-3, 3-2, somewhere in there. Do you want them to lose to the Cardinals? Like they're finally looking like the team we hope they are. And you got the Cardinals in town. You're like, take this one.
There is no moral victories this season. I mean, this is all about evaluation.
No, right? But here's the thing: you want to see growth in your quarterback, and
right? I said evaluation,
right? Yes. But our schedule's bad enough that if Justin Fields has grown, or if Luke Getsy has figured out how to call plays for this guy, one or the other, and there's a consistency with it, the Bears will win games to finish out this season.
Yeah. I hear you. I think it's all about evaluation at this point. Who's going to be here for next year? We're going to hope what we should see, which is what we were supposed to see, is of some form of ascension this season. I never thought we were going to go to the Super Bowl or nothing like that, but at least be a playoff contender, wild card playoff contender.
Well, that's not that hard to get to.
That's what I'm saying. Like
the Bears are 2 games out of the last wild card spot right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's just how bad the NFC is.
But I'm gonna be real with you, right? And that's why I ask questions like this, where it's like this is a pie in the sky thing, but it's not that hard to actually get to. Mm-hmm. It's not that crazy to say that the Bears win 3 games in a row at some point, and they're right back in the playoff, because that's a real scenario that's in place right now.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad the NFL is. I say this every week. I can't wait for this Sunday to watch football where the Bears aren't playing, and again to be able to come back and go, the NFL is horrible. Because the teams that play now, like, I don't know if it's all just we're sitting here trying to, like, we're going all in on all these young players. You can't, invest in these veterans, and so they're not around for the future, different things like that. Like, I don't know what it is, but watching the NFL this season, the common theme for me is sitting there like, hey, like, there's a lot of bad football around this league. And it's not just the Bears. Like, even the middling teams. The Washington Commanders are ahead of us. And what's their quarterback name? Whatever.
Sam
Howell. Sam Howell gets sacked 17 times a week.
Yeah.
How like that's how bad the NFL is right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's one of those weird situations for me. right now, but I can't wait for Sunday to watch nothing but football. What else we got, my guy? I don't even remember the topics at this point. I didn't write nothing down. I'm back.
At this point,
it's the end of a vacation week. What do we got?
At this point, what we're going to do is then go. We'll just transition to Ryan Poles.
Oh, we got King Poles in the building.
What's he going to do with now that he is commanding the first? If we got the first and fifth pick at this moment, like where do we go? Like there's so many possibilities, endless possibilities of what we're going to do as we build this team. So I don't know. Let's see. I got there. They got the first pick in the fifth as it stands right now. So
you know what? I really do believe this, and I know a lot of people won't. I think that the way that Ryan Poles is going about building out this, that's really cool. I think that the way the record's not the record. Kind of is because you couldn't see it for a second. Yeah, I mean you can't see that 7 on the second part. But I really think that the way that Ryan Poles is building this team, and listen, it's a slow process, and Bears fans hate it.
We drafted OC.
But when you really think about it, Ryan Poles got here last year.
2 years. Well,
last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're having a conversation on how many pieces away we are. And if we have the right OC, we would have enough talent on this team to win more games than we're winning right now. Now, do I think he needs to make some coaching changes? 100%. But with the Panthers having the first pick, you look at that deal for DJ Moore alone. And to me, I feel like he deserves that crown.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Because you traded that pick, got a second-round pick in that draft, got a first-round pick in this draft, and I think
2025 next year.
And 2025 next year for a second, right?
I think it was... Yeah, it was next year's second pick.
Next year's second-round pick.
This
and we got
first.
one... And we got one. Oh, no, we got their first-round pick this year and DJ Moore.
Right.
And so, like, you got Darnell Wright out of it, DJ Moore. You now control the board, and it feels like you're going to control the board the rest of this season moving through.
Yeah.
And you can, I mean, I guess you could go quarterback, but I really don't believe he's going to go quarterback. I think he's going to slow play this thing. I think he's going to take his time. I 100% believe that he understands what fans have been saying for years. This guy would be all right. Bears fans, we've all said this. This guy would be all right if they could keep him up. Whether you believe in the quarterback or not. We've said that about almost every quarterback here. Jay Cutler's probably the most famous there, but even Lance Briggs today was like, Jay just getting them one-on-one moments where he like, hey, I'm going to B-Marsh. But if you can keep them upright, you can have decent production. Guess what? Tyson Bagent looked okay through these 4 games that you had him in there, minus one game where, I mean, he got his head kicked in versus the Saints pretty much. But even then, he looked like, okay, he can move the ball down the field. He looked okay because the offensive line started to get things together. You got Tevin Jenkins on the right side. You've got, now that's a real question. If Nate Davis comes back, where's Tevin go?
So look, if we have, so Tevin Jenkins is moved to right guard, right? So
Tevin is at right guard.
So I got to flip that.
But no, you'll probably have him at left guard right now.
Yeah. So
when Nate Davis comes back, you probably move him back to left guard.
Again, if we got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think we have at least 5 Pro Bowl caliber players. You know,
you made a chart, dog.
Yeah, man. Hey,
you made a chart. What did I miss when I was gone?
Hey, man, you know, that's what we do, man. You know?
I like this.
So, I mean, as we build this team, like, I want a left tackle. I want a center.
Yeah, Yannick Ngakoue is bad.
Yeah, he was bad. He ain't done nothing. I mean, look, it's the scale, right? They can always improve to a certain point.
It's just right now. This is Joel's feeling.
Yeah. So, like, if we put this, hold on, let's put this back over here, put this over there.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Transition. I like this man's having a ball. I love this.
Draft.
I love seeing this chart too, honestly, because I think it does talk about really what this team is and has right now. Yeah, Eddie Jackson has been he's been hurt. I can't.
He has not been good, man.
I can't argue that. He's been hurt.
Yeah. So if we go back and transition this guy, put this draft watch back up. If let's just say, how do we do this again, right? Come on, there we go. All right, boom, and pause that. So if we got the Panthers, we got the number 1 pick again, and we're 5th.
Yeah.
Do we take? Let's say we go for Drake May, or no. Let's say they keep Fields based on the way the draft is working. So we need a left tackle, but we can trade that one down again. We'll say they go down to 8, right? Because they can trade with Tampa Bay needs a quarterback. Well, they're not going to trade with Green Bay. The Rams, like if you were to trade down to 5, now they get the 5th and 6th pick. Now does that put us out of the Joe Alt or the at least gives us Fasano or Joe Alt?
It depends on what the Bears pick still is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the Bears pick is still top 5 at that point, then yeah, you stay in there and you have an ability to get Alt's probably going to go 5 or 6 somewhere in there.
The whole thing is if Fields, they believe in Fields, then okay, he's in the building.
Yeah.
And we're going to build with him. If they go for, say, I think the Drake May is intriguing as a quarterback. So you got to take him probably with the 1st or the 2nd pick, depending on how you finish. So it's that fit, it's their pick that if they end up screwing up and winning more games and then they get down to like 9, 10, 11, well, now you're just picking the best player available on the board.
Yeah, I don't think they'll drop down that far. I'm not worried about them dropping down that far.
If they go, if they win 3 or 4 games more, they're 3-7. Let's just say they went out and go 10-7 for some.
You're talking about for the Bears?
The Bears
for the Bears pick. Okay,
yeah.
That's very different. Yeah. Well, I think the insurance though there is different though, right? The insurance on the fact that if you go 10-7, what happened for you to go 10-7? Justin Fields is a player, right? So now that changes. Okay, I got this top pick. Now I can trade back and get multiple picks, possibly in this draft, or maybe get picks now and in the future. You know what I mean? Like it changes what you're going in the draft for. Now you're focusing in on one position. Right now, it feels like you need both picks because you might need a pick to utilize on a quarterback.
You're right. He might. That's what I'm saying. If they keep Fields, then they have more draft capital.
Right.
And it could be like, hey, we'll sit on him.
Hey,
we'll keep him for another year or two.
God dang it.
If we
we're doing what?
If we keep Fields for another year or two and go where you go, man. Get back on camera, man. If we hold on to Fields and go the Kansas City route, right, where we have him as a quarterback and we keep continually building up. Because you know what's crazy? Like I was looking up some stuff, right? If you like everybody's like Marvin Harrison Jr. Like I looked up since Keyshawn was drafted number 1 overall back in '96. It's only like no receiver has won the Super Bowl as the primary offensive, person, so to speak, on that team. Now, Keyshawn won a Super Bowl with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase got to a Super Bowl. There's been like 2 or 3 guys. Plaxico Burress won a Super Bowl, but that was a balanced team with the Steelers, and he was the 8th pick or 10th pick. But my point is that
Plaxico won with the
Steelers. Or did he win with the
Giants?
Well, I know he won with the Giants. Did he win with Steelers?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. That makes my point even more solid. And so
Maybe he did get one with the Steelers. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think he was with Santonio Holmes, right?
Was he?
I want to say
that sounds not wrong.
I want to say he.
I don't
want
to say it sounds right, but it sounds not wrong.
But the point is that he wasn't the main focal point. Like when Jamar Chase is the offense is running through him. And my other thing is that with a quarterback, it's such a crapshoot of just because you're drafted number 1 top pick doesn't necessarily mean they end up winning. I mean, Alex Smith is one that didn't win. Who are notable number 1 quarterbacks? I mean, Peyton Manning, right? He's one of the few that won. It took him a while. But most of the other quarterbacks, I'm trying to think.
First overall quarterback that's good.
I mean, Stafford was number 1 overall, right?
I mean, that's a long time ago, dog.
He's still playing. He won one when he went to the Rams, but he didn't win one for the Lions. Jameis Winston was number 1. He's sitting on the bench over there. Who else was number 1 top? I'm just saying the propensity of a quarterback going at the top is sometimes it doesn't necessarily work out. If we can build the team and then do kind of what Kansas City did. Huh?
Burrow.
Oh, Joe Burrow. Yeah,
Joe Burrow. Yeah.
Well, he got to
that
Super
makes
Bowl.
Sense.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, nah. Baker, gross.
Right. It's like
Goff.
No, not with that team.
No, Goff
He
went to a Super Bowl.
He got to a Super Bowl.
Goff
He
went
win
to a
it.
Super Bowl.
But we want to win.
But,
We want to win.
Hey, you got there.
Win.
Hey, you got to get there to win it.
Win.
You got to get there to win it.
Championships. Multiple championships.
Jameis was first overall. No, Luck just left. I mean, Luck was amazing.
He just quit. Yeah.
Luck was amazing. Cam Newton was nice.
Blue Waves, I need you to relax. We're not saying it's just giving him $250 million just to just give him $150 million. If he's good, he's good.
Yeah.
The whole point is that we don't have to necessarily pay Fields if he's moderate, if he's okay, right? And the sum of the parts is greater. And then if we need to get a quarterback later or in the later round or whatever, because you've seen more success from quarterbacks that not necessarily are the first round picks.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the part that you look at and with the situation with Justin now, like
Trevor Lawrence, yeah, good job, B. Bill. Yep, Trevor Lawrence, number one. He's in.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Trevor's okay.
Now they're going to mainly teams that are
Trevor's okay.
They're not good teams that they're going to.
No,
but are we going to be in a better position to actually have a top quarterback and we're actually improving on our line?
I think the difference is though, right? Like you talked about Keyshawn Johnson being that top receiver. Like if you were to take a guy like MJH that high, you have to know that he's Jamar Chase reincarnate. Now I do feel like that. When I watch him here, when I watch him play, I do feel like that. But you also have to have more draft capital in place for you to be able to say, yes, I can address this, but also I can address this offensive line. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Y'all want this perfect quarterback that's able to go out there and no matter what the pressure is in front of him, he's able to deal with that pressure and he can throw the football. And if there's a center, if there's a nose tackle falling in his chest, he's still able to throw it 60 yards on a rope. And I would love for that guy to be there, but he plays in Kansas City. Like he's not here. That's a generational talent. That's not one of these mid-generational talents that like we keep talking about like every other year there's a new generational talent.
He's coming down
That's
to earth.
a real generational talent.
Yeah, but he's coming down to earth. I mean, he went to the 13-3 team with a great offensive line and a really good defense and a Hall of Fame tight end and an awesing receiver and they had a good running game.
With no tackles.
He still learned. I'm just saying that he had a chance to get to the point where he got up to speed to do what he had to do. Yeah. But he went to a really good team. Most of these guys are going to very bad teams, no offensive line, no defense, no help, no nothing. So like Joe Burrow is that talented that then when he got a quarterback, he had no line and went to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. With an average defense. So we might actually be in a great position. Well, maybe we have an ascending offensive line. The defense is getting better. We're a couple players away, from really having a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think that when Justin Fields has time, he looks good.
Where are you most looking for the Bears to spend money? That's really the other question you got to ask.
Yeah, honestly we'll do that in another show when we look up this. I can't speak on it yet because I want to see who the free agents that's coming out next year.
Yeah.
But I don't want an aging 31-year-old dude Pro Bowler guy. I want someone 26 to 28. Coming off their first, I want their first contract, not their second contract.
Aging 31-year-old.
Yeah, like the guys they're going to command a ton of money, and it's like they got 2 or 3 years left. Like it's a young man's game. We got to. You're overpaying when you go to free agency. You're overpaying for when you don't do well in the draft.
Yeah.
So I want to see. I don't know. I don't know if we need so much in free agency as we need just some better draft picks. Like I still want to see. Based on this Tampa 2 defense, we need a 3 technique, and we got our safety. And I don't know if we have our Urlacher, Derek Brooks style of linebacker, the guy that's supposed to fly around and act as a third safety. He gets to cheat and run around and cover.
We got him. We just don't have no frontline pressure.
You talking about Tremaine Edmonds?
100%.
But is he Urlacher level or Derek Brooks level, or is he just a good linebacker?
Listen, Urlacher level and Derek Brooks level had defensive lines in front of them. That's what changes things.
Yeah, but Urlacher was special. You know what? You're right.
Urlacher was special.
You're right because there's a reason why we paid that. He was a tackling machine in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
So I give you that.
Urlacher was special. I give you that, right? And listen, I love the like everybody's now out on that was the other thing that was weird when I left for vacation. Like everybody was, we should have paid Roquan Smith, but also the same argument out of the other side of the mouth was like, how do you pay linebackers before you pay the defensive line. It was like, but you wanted to pay Roquan Smith. Oh, but he was a part of the offense. He's a linebacker. He's an off-ball linebacker at that.
Yeah.
He's not a middle linebacker. It got weird. I don't know. But for me, the number one thing that this team needs to improve upon is the trenches. I don't care what. Improve your trenches. You fix the trenches, you don't have to worry about anything else.
No, it starts from the offensive line defense. I would like to see definitely a left tackle. If we keep Fields, that's actually a better position because we can get a tackle. We might be able to trade down, maybe get the best defensive tackle, and we need a center really bad. Like we need
really bad,
like really, really bad. And so we can get. Hopefully, are we going to see Javon Dexter or Zach Pickens? Ascend to being one of them being a starter.
And look, it ain't good either.
We need one of them to do something. Otherwise, we got to draft another. Now that's where he hadn't hit yet. He's hit on most of his picks, but it's not, those two aren't hitting.
It ain't good either. You might get your 31-year-old center.
Okay, fine.
Like I'm literally looking at the center free agent market. I mean, Jason Kelsey's 36. He's done. This is last year. He's not coming to Chicago anyway. Connor Williams 26, but he's probably getting re-upped there. Andre James, Aaron Brewer, Lucas Patrick.
No, we got to draft. We got to draft a center.
But you're not getting a top center. Like center.
No. You can get a starting center like in the second, third round. Centers, you can get sent. The issue is a premier left tackle or premier right tackle. You can get centers in day two.
Yeah. I'd rather have a day one center.
Give me a day one center. Who's been drafted as a day one center?
I don't know. You put me on the spot. I can't think of that.
Yeah, I don't think there are any.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Day one drafted center. I've seen guards. I've seen like Quentin Nelson go.
First round pick centers. You say there's
I don't know
first round pick centers.
I'm not calling to mind. Yeah.
You got an old mind though, dog. You know what I mean?
Chat, does anyone know of any day one centers?
Listen, if you can tell me where centers are drafted, I will applaud it.
He said Fredrickson is a day one center. Is he a starting Pro Bowl caliber center? I could be wrong. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to see if there's even
I'm saying you can get a center in the second, third round that starts.
I'm trying to see a look at first round centers. Travis Frederick. I don't even know who that is. Cameron Irving, Ryan Kelly, Frank Ragnow.
Who?
Frank Ragnow, I know.
Okay.
Billy Pierce.
I mean, when? Is this recent?
Yeah, these are all recent.
Okay.
Cesar Ruiz.
But what pick though? Are they like 26th?
Yeah, I don't know. I should have took John Michael Schmitz in the second round last year. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get you. I get you on that.
I'm just saying, the premier athlete of
Steve said you don't get a center day one. This ain't 1976.
Exactly. You get the horn for that. Oh, Frederick from the Cowboys. The Cowboys do typically very well drafting their offensive linemen. Oh, I saw. Tyron, I think Smith is supposedly the left tackle from the Cowboys. I think he's supposed to be a free agent. But again, we need a starting. I want a guy that's going to be here. Like I'm just happy that we got with Darnell Wright. A day one starter from the draft. We've seen so many of these guys just not pan out. Mark Colombo, Chris Williams, Gabe Karimi.
Gabe Karimi is such an interesting.
I liked Howie Long's kid.
Oh, Kyle Long.
He was a guard.
Once he got
out
hurt,
of position. He had bad technique, and I think he overextended himself, which got him hurt a lot. Like we've had a lot of these guys just bust out.
Yeah.
So to get a guy that's starting, normally it's a guy with a back injury. Like Poles is doing pretty good.
No, I think Ryan Poles has done a good job to this point, man. Let's finish it out here. Let's go to the Friday free for all. Welcome back, Pat. That's what I'm on. That's what time I'm on. Because and as y'all get,
Jesus.
Good Lord. The lung butter, as they call it. This is kids' Mike.
That's gross.
Hey, man, as you guys may or may not know, the Chicago Bears may be in the market for a new head coach And the ruling could be coming down very soon on one Michigan's Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is reported to be suspended by the Big Ten. They are banning the Michigan coach from the final 3 games of the 2023 regular season. What does this mean? Basically, you would think a suspension means he can't do anything with his team, right? Not at all. In the infinite wisdom of the NCAA and probably Big Ten. I mean, it is what it is. This guy can still do everything except be on the sidelines. They suspended him, but he still can coach the team before the game. He can coach the team on the sideline, or not on the sideline, during practice. He can come up with the game plan. He can preset the game plan. He can make sure that the defense, like, what does it matter if he's not on the sideline or not? Like, at that point, he's done everything where he can make the call.
What's going on?
What are you doing over
I'm
there?
trying.
You okay?
The stupid mouse wouldn't work. It was just
You all right?
today.
You having a stroke there?
Don't play around.
You good in the back? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's crazy.
No,
Hey, Coach T said Pat came back with SARS.
right. No,
Is Harbaugh done in college? Is this it for him? Is this the last hurrah? Because, oh, by the way, he can come back and coach for the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is just a regular season.
I would love to have Jim Harbaugh here. I think he represents what a coach is. He's had a great track record when he was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
He did well in Stanford. He's done well everywhere he's went. And why would he not do well if he came here? I would love to see that. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that's it's 3 games. Like, he'll be back. And then he's back for the playoffs, right?
He's back for the playoffs.
And what are they? Are they?
This
only
is
have
the
one
craziest
loss?
suspension I might have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I'm like, the fact he's only just a couple games, like
They were like, what precedent does this set on anything? Like, you're supposed to, like, punishments are supposed to deter other people from doing it, right?
right.
This punishment would make me say, I'm going to absolutely do it. I get to get all of the calls. I get to see all your signals. I know everything you're going to do. And I get a couple of games in the regular season for it. I'll see you guys. Like, that's like what they did. They suspended why can't I think of her name? Becky
Hammond?
Becky Hammond at the beginning of the season this year because they cut the young lady from the Aces.
The Vegas thing.
Yeah. They cut her or traded her away because she was pregnant. And everybody was upset about it. So they were like, that's not how you want to do things. So they trade her away, blah, blah, blah. They suspended 3 games. We already won the championship.
I like Stoltz Schwingles. Bring back a loser Bears who never won anything as a Bear. That makes no sense. He went to 4 NFC championship games.
And a Super Bowl.
And a Super Bowl.
Now, he didn't win any of them.
He didn't win that. Oh, well, he got to the Super Bowl. So
he won one of them. He won one of them.
He won in Stanford, right? I mean, he didn't win a championship, but they had one of the top teams.
I think it's
and
more
he's
so
winning
about,
in Michigan.
That sets a precedent, though. Like, you're setting a culture here. And the one thing is, that he's won with a quarterback in an NFL that it was much weirder to win with a quarterback like that. That was an abnormal quarterback.
He made the
with
best.
Colin Kaepernick.
I think he took his talent and got the best out of his talent.
Yeah.
If he was to come here and we kept Fields and we got a couple more linemen on that, offensive, defensive linemen, I think he's in a great spot. I would love to have him. I wanted him to come here before he went to Michigan. I was pissed.
I think Kevin Warren might actually be able to get this one done. I think this will be the pull of Warren, where he'll be like, "Hey, Jim, remember when I was at the Big Ten?" Kevin Warren probably put in the call and was like, "Give him 3 games. That's all we want.
Well,
don't punish him too hard."
I thought I heard or read something that maybe him and Warren actually didn't get along. Is that true?
I don't know. I didn't see that. They might not have. I could see that being a thing.
Maybe that was. I don't know.
But I mean, Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka didn't get along.
Yeah, see how that worked out. They should have had more championships.
But you got 1.
Yeah, but they should have had 3.
Before we get up out of here, man, I have one thing for the chat that I want to leave with you all, and I'd love to get your feedback on this. I'd love to see the best comments. Best commenter, maybe we'll send you something nice. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, what's up Matt's sleeve? Matt Eberflus yesterday in the second half said he had something up his sleeve. What's up Matt's sleeve? Joel, what did you see up Matt's sleeve?
I don't want to look at that sleeve.
Why'd you say I don't wanna look up Matt's sleeve. I'm scared. It's dark up there. Yeah, there was nothing up Matt Eberflus's sleeve yesterday in the second half of that game. And I think that the best part of that whole thing was that at the end of it, they asked what was up his sleeve, and Matt Eberflus instantly went, "What's up yours?"
Right.
What? Jason Leisure did not deserve that. Jason Leisure did not deserve. Jay Sanders, you're crazy. I'm not saying that on there.
Ooh, somebody's a hotel room he got from Dwight. Ooh,
Gross. Steve-O drop. Hopefully gas money so he can drive out of here when he gets fired. The fork to go with the word salad. That's pretty good. A vintage Timex watch. Oh, you could have done better, Jesse. Come on,
You
Jesse.
get the horn for that one.
Come on, Jesse. Ray just said he might as well pull a quarter out his ear. He pretty much did. He kind of did, right? Like that was. He said, "What's up my sleeve?" Like the grandpa trick, and he showed us exactly the same thing every time he does the trick.
What do you say? He was. That was just so corny, man.
I think he knew it too. I think that's why he had to do the "What's up yours." Like that felt like one of those where like you say something you thought was gonna come out cool,
Yeah.
and then you just like,
What's the saying?
oh god, no.
Wish in one hand, crap in the other.
Yeah.
Someone comes out first.
Yeah. I thought the best one I saw was on Twitter yesterday. Somebody said, "What did you guys see up Matt's sleeve?" Somebody said, "That same run through the A gap."
Wait, he said Daryl said Matt was going to reveal in the beginning of the third quarter that he had lost the rest of his mind. And then you got his retainer from Steve-O. And then Joe says next week he'll say pull my
Next
finger.
week he'll say pull my. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. That we got Grandpa Matt on that. We got Grandpa Matt, man. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for another screen pass. Yep, another screen pass. Another screen pass. That's exactly what it was. You know what was up his screen? What was up his screen? Whoa. What was up his sleeve was a 3rd and 19 run play call. That's what was up his sleeve for Roshan Johnson. That's exactly what was up there. Oh, God. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear Don for the super producer, Joel Holt. I am Pat the Designer, and I'm back with lung butter. That's what was up his sleeve. Some more lung butter. Peace.
Lung butter.